on May 31st, 2019, where I was privileged to be at the Foreign Affairs Ministry in Abuja. At that time, I was pursuing a request to the Foreign Affairs Ministry concerning my schooling abroad, which I started. But the Foreign Affairs Ministry was reluctant to grant the request, and up to this moment, they have not even granted the request. But fortunately, while I was in the office of the director, the assistant director, to issue or to approve that same request, one of the officials from the Federal High Court, Maitama, Abuja, walked in with a request from the Federal High Court asking for a note verbal to one of the embassies that about 83 Federal High Court judges be allowed to go on foreign trip, but the assistant director was reluctant to approve their request, but they wanted to ensure that they could get a note verbal for medical checkup abroad. So while I was there, I was listening attentively, because the assistant director asked that all the people that needed approval should come to his office. So I was also there. So one after the other, he was attending to us. So while he was attending to the official from the Federal High Court, he asked that why would all the judges proceed on medical checkup abroad. The person further explained that it was a statutory opportunity, so to say, that all the Federal High Court judges will go on medical trip. So that is my own fear. That's my concern, because their names were stated on the document. So what that meant was that maybe there might not be judges, or these same judges that ought to look into cases of health problems in Nigeria might be biased. That's my own view. And other issues, or maybe any person speaking against such a medical trip might not get a favorable judgment from these judges. That's my own opinion, which I am entitled to constitutionally. So the last that I saw was that the assistant director was now asked to see what I'll call the Oga at the top, maybe to further compel him to ensure that that document is signed or the note verbal is granted. So later on, having followed the Omoyele Sowore case, then I went to the Federal High Court in Abuja to now request from the chief registrar that I want the document stating all the names of these judges, because we have what is called Freedom of Information Act, and the court or the chief registrar has 7 days to furnish me with this particular document. It was submitted last Friday, so maybe we have about 3 days or 4 days more. So, and I want the Nigerians to know about this. I want them to know about what is going on, which I believe that would likely affect judgment concerning health sector and anybody that is fighting against this issue and other issues in the country. Nigeria should or ought to be governed by law, and we have the Freedom of Information Act signed into law by the ex-president Goodluck Jonathan. So I'm confident that we are going to have that. I'm also confident that people like you, the media, the activists, will be able to mount pressure on the judiciary, on the Federal High Court, chief registrar, the chief judge to furnish us with that particular document, and the incumbent chief judge of the Federal High Court is in person of Justice Sowore, is now in acting capacity, and I believe that he is a man of law and he will want to ensure that things are done aright. Definitely, I'm confident that he would want to toe the line of justice. The information that I got was about 83 of them to India, and I'm not surprised because most of our public office holders or politicians, even the number one president Muhammadu Buhari, go abroad to receive treatment. But the issue is that this fact would affect the discharge of their public duty in terms of justice, fairness, and equity. It was as at 31st May 2019. That was the day I was at the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
All right, thank you very much. We await response to your request, and then we hope that they grant you. If they do, the public will be aware, and then we are sure that you also want to make a follow-up statement on it. Whatever you want to do with that document once you have it.
And even if within the 7 days the chief registrar or the court fails to furnish me with that particular document, it is stated in the Freedom of Information Act the time within which I can file a lawsuit, and I know that this is a public interest issue that the human rights activists like Femi Falana, Mike Ezekume, this is the time for them to come up with possible lawsuits to ensure that there is justice and equity in the land.
All right, thank you very much.